Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Waves of Healing. We are dedicated to communicate to you and provide you with information of being aware and keep open mind to alternative ways of healing, whether it's physical, emotional, or spiritual. I'm your host, Leah Yekutiel, coming to you live from Los Angeles, California, every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Pacific Time. I am a reconnective energy healer, a breast cancer victor, not victim, and the author of the book, Making the Breast of It. In order to learn more about my book and me, please visit my website at www.ilovemybreastcancer.com. All in one word, ilovemybreastcancer.com. And while you are visiting my website, please purchase my book and give a gift of love to somebody you love who went through breast cancer, where they can learn how to reclaim their femininity back, how to rebuild their self-confidence with breast cancer, how to accept their new image and love it, and realize that sexuality exudes from inside out and not from outside in. And the most important thing is that through many exercises in the book, they will learn that we women are not only our body, neither we are only our breasts in order to be sexual, viable, functional human beings. So with that said, please go and visit my website again, which is ilovemybreastcancer.com. All in one word, ilovemybreastcancer.com. And I want to tell you who is my guest today. My guest today is Dr. Eric Pearl. Dr. Eric Pearl, many of you are familiar with him because he is so active in so many different publications and seminars and all kind of stuff. But for those who are not that familiar with him, let me tell you just a little bit about him. Dr. Eric Pearl is the author of the international bestseller, The Reconnection, Heal Others, Heal Yourself, now published in more than 40 languages. He travels the globe teaching reconnective healing, an extraordinary new way to heal others, yourself, and your loved ones by engaging with scientifically measurable new frequencies that researchers are calling the forefront of information medicine. People learn how to activate and utilize this all-inclusive spectrum of healing frequencies that allows us to completely transcend energy healing and access a level of healing beyond anything anyone has been able to access prior to now. To date, he has taught this new level of healing to over 75,000 people in more than 70 countries, bringing about spontaneous healing. And since we are so lucky to have Dr. Eric with us live today, and let me bring him in and we'll hear what he has to say also about his book, the latest book, Solomon Speaks. Eric,
Hello, Leah. How are you?
Hey, how are you, my friend? How are you?
Great, thank you. Yourself?
I am great. I'm so excited. I'm reading your book, Solomon Speaks, and I am just flabbergasted. I was telling the listeners a little bit about you. I think you heard it, didn't you?
Of course I did.
Okay.
They're all lies.
They're all lies. Only I tell the truth because I took your seminar and I know what happened to me after I took your seminar. Just being around you, miracle happens, Eric. And that's how excited I am to have you as a guest on my radio show. So let's start by telling us talk a little bit about Solomon Speaks, your new book. Is this the continuation of the first book, which is the Reconnection and the Reconnective Healing and all this kind of stuff?
Well, the Reconnection, the first book, the Reconnection, Heal Others, Heal Yourself, is a book that allows us to access a new level of healing, one that, according to scientists, we've not been able to access before, where it takes us beyond the energy and the energy healing techniques we've been using, includes everything that we've been able to gain through the techniques, but frees us from having to do the complicated techniques and the fear-based protective rituals so that we can move beyond just the limitations of those subsets of energy, even beyond the entirety of energy, into a new spectrum of energy, light, and information that has a tendency to bring about healings that are often fairly instantaneous and also tend to appear to be lifelong.
Oh, wow.
Now, Solomon Speaks is a way of us accessing deeper levels of who we are, accessing a higher vibration, a higher level of the truth, of the essence, of the purity of who and what we are. And I should tell you maybe a little bit of how Solomon came about.
Yes, please.
Okay. Well, what happened when Reconnective Healing first appeared is that people started losing consciousness and speaking 6 phrases. Everyone tended to speak the same 6 phrases. And that happened for a 3-month period of time. Then everyone stopped bringing through these 3 phrases, except for Frederick Tonsbach, first person. And I think over 50 people brought through this information word for word identically with one another so that I would pay attention to the reality of it. And when it stopped happening through those other 50 people, I would listen to the information as it continued to come through the first person, through Fred. So I would have sessions with him where I would sit and I would talk and I would tape record this information. And we then had the information typed up, put into manuscript and form, and I lost touch with Fred over the years, and then we reconnected again, and we decided that it was time to put this information out and make it available to the public. So the book Solomon Speaks on Reconnecting Your Life is sort of a collection of a lot of the insights that Solomon has been bringing through for the past 20 years.
Past 20 years. Wow. I'm telling you, Eric, I'm reading this book, and, last night I was finished reading the book, and I was laughing. This is so funny and so enlightening. I was... So all this Solomon Speaks actually is everything that it was channeled through him to you and Fred?
I try not to use that word channeling because it has a lot of baggage to it. But yes, you could refer to it as channeled information if you want to. It's very specific information to the listener. It was specifically spoken to me, but not to me, Eric Pearl, more to me, Eric Pearl, who was bringing this level of consciousness and healing insight onto the planet. But now that's become each of our responsibilities. So when you read the book, you need to hear it speaking to you directly, because it is. And if you listen to the way it presents itself, you'll see that this is very specific information to each and every one of us. If you'd like, I'll share a little bit with you.
Please.
Okay. I'll read you a little bit that came through in February of '96. And it begins like this. There is a lot that needs to be said in various ways. We understand ourselves in a limited fashion, and we need to carry this understanding as a life process. It is the unveiling of a multifaceted force within our life. We need to peel away the exterior so that that internal being shines through to those we come in contact with. This eternal soul that resides within our framework is being covered up in many ways by our fears and apprehensions. And in your work, that is what you need to do. You need to unveil your soul. It is not a simple process, and this stripping away of ego is an eternal process. This selflessness that must shine through the being that can reach in without interference. Once that pure force shines through, without it being refracted by various mindsets, it will flow in a more direct manner, and you will be able to control the amplitude of it.
Wow.
Once you allow your soul, that egoless purity, to come through, that is almost a common denominator, and that it has the ability to automatically fuse with the frequency of the person you're coming in contact with. So your job in this process is to strip away the defense, strip away the mind, strip away the control mechanisms and techniques that you have in this plane. Let them go. Let them be a part of an exterior that has nothing to do with you, and present that soul in the room. It will automatically do the work. That energy is the common universal language of the cosmos. It is understood immediately and is felt intrinsically.
Wow. Wow, it says it all. It really says it all. And that's what I got when I read the book, and I recommend everybody to read this book, because I felt this book was talking to me personally. And that's how it talks really to anybody that is enlightened and seeking healing without getting involved with the ego, and just being oneself, the real one that we were born with. And I loved every word that I read in the book. So.
Well, thank you. I would love to take credit for it, but I didn't write any of the words in the book.
I know, but, it came through you. Am I correct? It
came through Fred, actually. It came through Fred Ponsloff.
Oh, it came through Fred. Oh, wow. It came through Fred? Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. I was under the impression that it came through you and through him as well. But it came through him.
The voice came, think of it this way. The voice came through Fred, speaking to Fred and speaking to me. So Fred, though, was like the telephone. He's the telephone. He's not the source of the information. He's the source through which the information was delivered.
Solomon is the source of the information, who delivered it to Fred, and you and Fred together wrote the book.
Right. So a lot of the information is about how to access deeper parts of ourselves, and a lot of the information is about understanding healing better. So as healing facilitators, we can bring about a higher degree of the healing with a higher degree of consciousness. For example, I'll share another part with you that specifically has to do with healing.
Okay.
The process of healing becomes very complicated because you're dealing with a variety of different kinds of forms of expression that are being manifest in this plane. There's no one sort of reason for illness. Some people are undergoing lessons. Some are holding on to energy. And that pure soul light that you shine through as a healer recognizes and shines a floodlight on that area people need to see. For some people, they need to release energy. For some people, they have a great gain in understanding of the validity and incredible ability or gift that life is. So when you have that deep soul unveiled, shining through, it automatically recognizes the nature of the disease. In other words, there's no need to diagnose or look for the problem or try to fix something specific.
Yeah.
It's an acceptance and an appreciation of that vital force that exists now, that is here in this second, that you've been endowed with an energy that is manifest in flesh and bone and that breathes and lives. It's not taking for granted the mechanism, but rejoicing in it, rejoicing and celebrating it. That's the true guarantee of coming to terms with some form of enlightenment in this plane, that in every single moment that we experience, there is incredible joy and celebration to be appreciated in every moment, not just some, because we sort of characterize what we consider great and happy moments and sad moments. We sort of compartmentalize them as various desirable experiences and undesirable experiences. There are no undesirable experiences if you open your soul to them, because in every experience there is a germ of incredible wisdom if it is harvested, if it is recognized. We toss away what we consider useless material, not looking deeper into it, not recognizing the incredible knowledge that comes with every experience. We're very judgmental, and that comes from the ego. But it all depends on where we shine that light.
Which means if we have afflicted with any kind of disease, just accept it and learn a lesson from it and grow spiritually as a person.
Well, you know, they say that some people may need their illness to give love. Some may need their illness to get love. Some of us may take things on for our own lessons. Some of us may accept to take things on for the lessons and evolution of others close to us in their lives.
I understand, Eric, that you give seminars and you had something about the Solomon Speak something online. Are you still doing that, or?
I don't know that we've got something online at the moment. What we do is I teach seminars, as you know, in Reconnective Healing. We teach them all around the world. And, for example, we're teaching 5 more between now and the end of the year. We're teaching one in Newport Beach, November 1 through 3.
I'm going to be there, Eric.
Oh, cool.
Of course.
The Newport Beach one is very special because we plan to have Fred Ponslov come and give a 2-hour presentation, a live channeling of Solomon, and even taking some questions from the audience and seeing how Solomon
really?
responds
how
to
wonderful.
that.
Okay,
So that's the first weekend, November 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, and you said November 1st through 3, through November 3rd. Oh, that's
Correct.
wonderful. I'm going to be there. I know. I follow where you go. You know that. And I want to say one other thing. That when I took your seminar, which was 2 years ago, the first time, after I came home, 2 days later, after the seminar, and I used to have a back pain, lower back pain all the time. I used to have this pain. And one morning, 2 days after the seminar, I woke up and I was still in bed, lying back on my back, and all of a sudden I felt this physical hand holding my both sides of the hip and twisting it. And I even heard a click. And since then, my back pain is gone for good.
You know, that's I love that story. It's a beautiful story, and I hear that again and again and again. As a matter of fact, we just gave one seminar a couple days ago in Denver, Colorado, and while we were there, on Friday night, we gave a presentation to and brought up a volunteer to do a healing, and this was a gentleman that had been unable for maybe about 25 years to raise his arms up higher than maybe parallel to the ground, and within moments, he regained full use of his arms. Howsoever, his left arm had been damaged because he was a medic in Vietnam, and it was damaged and shot, and they had removed 6 whole inches of bone from where it was shattered to reconnect his arm. So even when he regained full range of motion, his left arm, I believe, was 6 inches shorter than his right. And the next day, he heard click, click, click in his arm. And when he was when he raised both of his arms up again, and from here forward, his arms are both full, equal length.
So he heard click, click, click also.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. I've seen you doing it to people at the seminar, and it was just flabbergasted. How is it possible? And that's why I say, just being around you, people get healing. And I recommend this course to everybody. Just take it because you don't know what's going to happen.
But when I was on the Dr. Oz show, Dr. Oz brought a woman in who lost the use of her arms, and all of his medical doctors had verified her injury and verified her 10 years of physical therapy and medical treatment. She regained the full use of her arms right on his TV show, and he used the same word you used. He said he was flabbergasted.
I know. I watched that show, and I always save it, and I watch it and rewatch it, because this is fantastic information, fantastic energy, fantastic frequencies that you brought it with you. To anybody I speak with about you, they tell me that, I don't know if I told you that or not, but they tell me that, Eric has been a healer in prior lifetimes too. Did you know that?
Well, I don't know what I know about that, here and now, but I mean, I hear it all the time.
You do hear it all the time? Okay.
Yes, I'm focused pretty much on this lifetime. So that's where my attention pretty much goes. I don't know what I was doing in past lives. I don't know exactly what I'll be doing in the future life. But I think as we're beginning to get a better understanding of time now, we're recognizing that time isn't in linear form of past, present, and future as we experience it, but really we're experiencing all different dimensions and all of our lifetimes simultaneously. And as we're doing this, we're here to live in them. And so that's where my consciousness is at this point. Although, as we're becoming more multidimensional beings, the concept of time is really vanishing. It's disappearing. And we're starting to be able to experience and recognize and become aware of what's going on in many different dimensions all at once. But, I like to remind people that this is not about any one special healer anywhere on the planet any longer, including me. This is about something that we can all learn to do. So, for instance, at the Newport Beach seminar, when I'm there on Friday night, November 1st, I'm going to give a 3-hour presentation where we talk about the history, the theory, the philosophy of this work, how it came about, the science. Okay. We'll give live demonstrations of the healings again on that Friday night, just like we're talking about now. And we'll give everyone an opportunity there for you to feel it in your hands. But Saturday and Sunday is very, very, very different as you've experienced it. Yeah. What happens is I'll demonstrate a level of the work from the stage, and then we'll all go to a massage table. You'll stand at the head of a massage table. Someone else will lie down. We'll walk around to each of the tables, take your hands, show you how to find it, how to feel it, how to play with it, and you will witness right in front of your very eyes that person who's lying on the table. You'll see their body go into involuntary movements. Their eyes dart back and forth, their fingers, their feet move. We'll show you how to accentuate that, increase the healing space that they go into. You'll see the movements change in their bodies. We'll go back to our chairs. We'll talk about what we learned. We'll demonstrate a new level of the work, go back to the tables and learn that. And by the end of that Sunday, November 3rd, if you're at the seminar, I can pretty much make you 2 promises, which are A, you will be able to do anything and everything in the way of healing that I can do, and B, you will be able to do anything and everything in the way of healing that any human being anywhere on this planet can do. And it's true, just as your experience has been that many people receive healings just by being in the seminar room. But remember, the most important reason to take the seminar is not to come just for your own healing, but to come also to learn how to facilitate healings for other people.
Yeah, this is wonderful. Did I tell you that I've had some clients that I gave healing to, and they sent me, I'm telling you, it's incredible what testimonies that I received. But now we are talking about you, Eric. So
no, the point is we're not talking about me. We're talking about you, and we're talking about the people who come to the seminars, because everyone pretty much knows that I can facilitate these healings. But when they hear that you are facilitating and bringing about wonderful healings, they can begin to understand that when they finish the seminar, they will be able to do the same thing. So it's really even more important that they know that you are now able to do this, so they can see that they are able to do this.
I know, it's so simple. The way you present it, it's so simple. And it's just incredibly simple that everybody can learn so fast. You even teach children. Like
right. And it is about being simple. That's what's important. Our energy healing techniques today are needlessly complex, needlessly complicated, where you do this step and that step, you move this clockwise, you move that east, you move that south. And the reality is we don't need those complications any longer. And when we let go of those complications, we bring about more comprehensive healings. We don't need the feared rituals and protections of trying to shake off negative energy and protect ourselves with imaginary flames and other things. And when we let go of those fear-based rituals, we bring about healings that are far more comprehensive and far more instantaneous.
Okay, great. Eric, we are running out of. Tell me, what is your website, where people can go and sign up for your classes and all this kind of good stuff?
Sure. Well, the website, just like the book is called The Reconnection, Heal Others, Heal Yourself. The website is thereconnection.com, simply thereconnection.com. It talks about our schedule, our seminars all around the world. We have 5 more seminars this year that we're giving. We're starting with the one in Newport Beach, November 1 through 3, then Toronto, November 8 through 10, London, November 22 through 24, Sydney, Australia, November 29 through December 1, and Mexico City, December 6 through 8.
Eric, I've got to stop you here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. And I'll see you on November 1st because I'm not going to miss your being in town at all. Thanks so much.
You then.
Dearly, Eric. And I'm so excited that you are a guest on my radio show. So
it's my pleasure.
And I encourage all the listeners, really, please check Eric's website and see what you can find there. And just do yourself a favor. Learn this technique, which actually is not technique, right, Eric?
That's right. It's a way for us to escape and free ourselves from techniques.
Exactly. So thank you so much, everybody, and I thank the listeners. And bye-bye, Eric, and I'll see you on November 1st because I'm not going to miss your class and your presence.
Well, Hitraot and Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach to you too, love. Happy Rosh Hashanah.
Happy Rosh Hashanah.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.